But it says ready to go like go.
Hello, everybody. Hello. There you go. Have a cup. Do you know what? I'm quite cross with myself. I didn't bring a cup of coffee in with me. Instead, I slammed
It's
it
a
down
juggle.
and
Do
rushed
I
in.
do it because I'm going to want to wee? I never know what to do.
Well, that's it. See, I always think it adds a certain frisson, and I'm sure you'll all agree, viewers, as you go along in tonight's show, that if we both suddenly start thinking, "Oh, we need a wee," then we get more excited and hyper, and that's great. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Disability Horizons Television, TV, even DHTV. That was my voice that did that, so DHTV.
It was.
It was. Anyway, so hello everybody. Hi and welcome. Please don't forget to join. You've got to sign into StreamYard on Facebook to be able to sign in as yourself. But anyway, just join, comment, have fun. This is your show. We just lead it like a kind of couple of tour guides with an umbrella going, follow us as we wander the world of disability. We obviously it's me and my exceedingly wonderful partner Zec. Say hello, Zec. Get a word in edgeways, quick.
Yeah, no, I am here. I'm waiting. I'm finally ready. We've had a bit of a rush before we went live because Mik outdid me and said, "Oh, I've got all this stuff ready to show people," and I was like,
Well, you see, we're talking tonight about supportive tech stuff that helps us as disabled people. Okay, and so we've got some odds and sods and stuff that I've got, and Zec's got some stuff as well. To all the gang at Purple Goat that are watching, we're thinking we might make this a regular thing. So if you can think of anyone that you can attack to come on the show and highlight their gear, we are available at rates. I never say reasonable rates because they aren't reasonable. But anyway, so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about sort of stuff that helps, stuff that's good, but also I think we might start with the whole idea of a disability dongle, right? The whole idea that there's stuff out there that gets invented, and it's normally invented by non-disabled people. And it's sort of meant to be designed to fix something, a problem that possibly a room full of university students have come up with while having their one lesson on inclusive design. And I know this because I give that lesson. So, and then they go off and try to fix problems that maybe we don't actually need fixing. And it's a huge sort of market.
stair climbing wheelchairs.
Bingo. That was the thing. Because, I mean, do you regularly see this in your feed, Zec? This whole sort of
people
thing?
going, "Oh my god, this is amazing," and then people who I know tagging me in it and going, "Look at this! Isn't this wonderful? This wheelchair will either stand you up and wheel you around like I don't know what, or you can climb the stairs with it at one step every half hour. Your life will be different."
Yes.
And I'm like, "No, can I have a slope?"
I'd like a ramp, please, or a lift. The horror of it all, and that I think is that. But it happens all around in sort of everything. But the wheelchair that climbs stairs is the big one. There was one. Did you see one? It was not that long ago. It was like an animation. This is a product we're trying to get made.
Was that the one on tracks?
No, that was actually made that one. God knows why. But this was a chair that could get you out of bed. It rolled. I can't remember exactly how it did it, but it kind of, you rolled into it and it was a bed, and then it sat you up as a chair, and then it could change its formation, so it could climb up and down steps by kind of moving the back wheel. The big wheels at the front, the little wheels are at the back, and it kind of moved the wheels and it went down and it climbed up and it did all this stuff, like it stood you up and it was sort of why and you could see that this was a project that some university, like,
it's going to go wrong halfway up.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. It's going to go wrong, but more importantly, it's going to cost a fortune and then go wrong, isn't it?
And our chairs are what, $5,000, and they're just basic manual chairs.
I mean, that'd be funny. See, this is it, right? So, because you've got chairs that climb stairs, then, like you said, you've got the ones that stand you up, because everyone wants to be head height to talk, apparently, because standing up people can't be bothered to bend down. They couldn't sit down and have a conversation with you in a chair. No, that would be ridiculous. So, of course, we've got to stand up, and you can reach things on shelves. Or we could just have lower shelves. Really, I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy here. But
I'm sorry.
But anyway,
at 6'4", I spent most of my life with little old ladies going, "Can you reach that for me, please, love?" So now I'm just clawing back.
the silly, because I bet you're like me as well. Because I'm 6'3", so you're taller than me, you pig, right? And I've got very long arms, so
Yes.
and I bet you have too. Because
Yes.
did you know, folks, that if you measure from fingertip to fingertip with your arms outstretched, that's the same as how tall you are. So the taller you are, the longer your arms.
But I'm not, because I've got a very long torso compared to very short legs. So I'm more like an orangutan.
Well, yeah. Because we're going off topic, but I don't care.
We are way off.
There's only two of us, and we've got to fill 45 minutes, so we've got to talk about something. I always used to find I had this problem because I've got very long arms, but kind of because after my operation, some of my spine was short, so I'm not actually 6'3" anymore, but I would be if I hadn't been mucked about with quite so much. So if I lay down, I can touch my own knees without bending my legs. So I also am quite orangutan in my, but I've moved on from orangutan to silverback because now as all men do, as hair lessens on the head, it grows other places, and my back is one of them. So that's going to be one of the things I talk about when we get
It's a segue. It's
suggestions. But it's weird how we get that stuff, the stuff that is kind of like I said, hey, everybody, welcome to Inclusive Design 101. What you've got to do is go away and think of an issue that people that are disabled might face, and then you've got to design a solution.
I found it to be the opposite, though. I found the opposite to be more helpful. People that design products for able-bodied, and yet we go, oh, my God.
I have many of those.
The muggy that carries drinks that was designed for the yachting world, wasn't it? I use one of them. Really? Brilliant.
Oh, I've not seen one of those. See, this is the thing. This is what the show's going to be, folks. I don't know how many people I know Katie's watching. Hello, Katie. Yes, don't worry. We are going to be getting you on soon, so don't worry. Then, of course, we are cutting our own audience because if we actually get Katie on as a guest, she's not watching. So we should be terrible because we need our viewers. But we're going to talk about this sort of suggestions, and we want you, dear viewer, to also give us your suggestions as we go along. So comment in the comment section. You might even put links to things, and I will try and put some links to the things I talk about tomorrow, probably, because once I've done this, I'm having pizza. And we should also say that we are not joined by anyone tonight because both Zec and myself were a bit crap and didn't actually bother to organise a guest. Even though we've got millions of fantastic guests lined up, we forgot to do one for tonight. I'm blaming Zec. It's all his fault.
It's my fault. Donna says it's all my fault anyway, normally, so it's my fault.
See, so that's why I love working with Zec, because he will take, yes, it's all my fault, even though it wasn't. It was our fault together. But there you go. And we have got some fantastic guests coming up. Honestly, it's going to be brilliant. I'll tell you a bit more about that towards the end. But they don't ever talk to us. These students don't ever get disabled people in to talk about what we might need. Now, recently I've been needing suspension on my wheelchair because as I'm falling to bits at the minute, going out on bad pavement and stuff is starting to really hurt my back. That's why I'm actually sitting in a very strange position. You can't see it, but my wheelchair is not. I'm sitting on the corner of my wheelchair because sitting back hurts a bit. So I go out and get really hurt on the pavement. And can you find a way of putting suspension on your wheelchair? No, you can't.
Not suspension. What you want about the frame rather than the wheels? Because there's wheel solutions, isn't there?
Well, again, this is a problem. I used to have frog's legs. Now, frog's legs, if you don't know it,
did you nasty? Did the surgery correct it?
No, I had frog's legs. But basically, imagine man from the groin up, but Kermit from the groin down. Fantastic. and now I've gone. My brain's gone. So I'm gonna.
You had frog's legs.
Exactly, I had frog's legs, and they are a suspended wheel for the front of your chair, like your caster wheel. But my new chair, there's been some snafus on it, and it's not gonna measure right, so I can't put them on. And now I know I don't have them. They actually did work, but for the back wheel, I have 26-inch wheels, so I have really big wheels on my chair. And
They are big. I've got 25s.
Yeah, apparently wheelchair companies don't make 26-inch wheels. There's two companies. There's Loop Wheels, and then there's I can't remember what it's called. Another wheel, one that makes.
There's the Israeli brand, which is like shock absorbers.
The 3 shock absorbers with a spindle and a wheel.
Yeah,
and then there are Loop wheels that are made in the UK that are made of like sort of plastic. Carbon fibre stuff. They're boing, and both of them only go up to 25, so I can't use them. But also, many years ago, I worked with Sunrise Medical, and we designed a chair called the XTR, and that had a suspension on the seat, so the seat was suspended, and it was great. But it did make jumping off curbs interesting. Because your centre of gravity moves as you jump, as you land. Whoa! So, but I once bought a Colours wheelchair that had suspension on. Now, it was American, and we all know that Americans don't really get suspension. It's all that driving straight that they do. So they really didn't apply any knowledge to a wheelchair. And it had a suspension on that made you feel like you were riding a blancmange.
There's got to be something, because there's now these kids, the youngsters, that are in skate parks and they're doing backflips. And I think some of them have got a suspension system built in. They must have. I mean, you wouldn't want to do a double backward flip and land with
I don't know, because they're young. Like we were talking last time with Andrew. When we're young, we do all this stuff. And it's only when we get to our age that we get the payback. Right. Yeah. So like I'll be intrigued to find out how many of these new now what is it, wheelchair BMX lot, when they hit 50 are going, oh, my back, oh, my shoulders.
Yeah, because we only see the successful shot, don't we? I mean, the amount of time these lads must be out.
Oh, it's funny. I know. Oh, now what's her name? The female, the leading UK female. It's got pink hair. She's really cool. I interviewed her for a online.
She's just
TV
the UK's
show.
leading female, or is it in a
female BMX wheelchair BMX?
I was going to say,
she's not like the Queen has gone and a wheelchair user with pink hair has replaced her.
Comes out the balcony with her pink hair.
That's it. I feel that would be a better society though. But
it's probably got a step.
And I wish I could remember her name, and I would look for it, but unfortunately we're live, and I don't have a team that can look at it online and then say it in my ear like you would do.
Go on, you keep talking, that won't be a problem.
But it's something like Ellie, I think her name is, and I interviewed her, and now I completely forgot what I was talking about. But she does all this backflips and stuff, and on her Instagram page, she shows you occasionally all the ones that went wrong before the one that got right. And you're absolutely right, Zec, that you go mistake. Correct, done it. That's it. That's the one we'll show everybody. So there we go. Now, I'm just going to say that people are asking where Dan is.
Lily Rice.
Is it Lily? That's it, not Ellie. Yeah, it's got an E on the end. So
I literally just searched pink hair wheelchair BMX.
That's it. See, brilliant. I've always said that this is why you need cool hair. Because cool hair allows you to be easily describable. You know, like I mean, with you, Zec, it would be, you know, the guy with the big beard. The David Bellamy of the disabled world.
Whoa, grapple my wheelchair. What a great.
That's it. Well, you know, I won't tell you what people call me, but there we go. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know a company that makes BMX chairs, but I've never really looked. They do have a suspension on it. I think it's like the one I used to have, which is on the seat. But the thing is, don't you think, like, say you can't talking about wheelchairs, why don't they design one that makes the chair move in different ways so you can resize it? I know that there's a company working on a seat that goes backwards and forwards to allow you to alter your center of gravity, but that doesn't go up and down to give you different seating positions. Backrests. It's the bane of my life. My backrest costs £800, and
it's not a J one with all 500.
Yes. It's
don't undo it. Don't undo it.
2, 4, 6, 12 bolts, which you need to to do it. So to move it up and down, you need to undo 4.
Yeah.
To move the seat up and down in position to the fixing point, that's another 4. And to alter the angle, that's another 4.
And it goes that way because they're all independent.
Yeah.
I had one on my last chair and I decided to adjust it.
Yeah. And what annoys me is I also have worked in offices where you get super posh office chairs with adjustable backs and they're about the same price as a backrest for a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So this J backrest costs the same amount as an entire chair.
Well, to be fair, a cushion's costing what, 500 quid, 600 quid for a good cushion?
See, there's a little tip for you, folks. If you want to find a good place to go to get a cushion, go to a company called Q-Bitus. So it's Q and then Bitus. They're an English company and they make you custom-made cushions, one-offs, exactly as you want them. And I got my last one for $250.
Of course he did. He keeps mentioning it online.
No, I've didn't get sponsorship. I'm hoping to now because I need a new one. Are you listening, Q-Bitus? But no, and I think that's the other thing that I hope that this will do. If we make this more of a ring, not every week, obviously, but say once every 6 months or once every 3 months, we talk about tech and assisted stuff. And of course, it won't only be us because we're getting new presenters to come on and then they can talk about stuff that assists them. We will be very wheelchair based for obvious reasons. But, different people with different impairments have different things that work for them. I've got someone that's going to be on our next show who is visually impaired. And they'll be talking about all stuff that, when they do their show about tech, it'll be all about that. But, that's something I found. I found this cushion company just by luck. And they're great because you send them like a little, measurements and they send it back. And if it's wrong, they go, I'll give you, have another one. So it's a really good service. So I was really impressed. And no, I am not being sponsored. This isn't an advertising campaign. Although I am available again at rates. Sorry, I was just going to say, Dan's not with us anymore, everybody. Dan is going to go and work. He's working at Disability Rights UK. And now, of course, that's a campaigning body. And I think we're a little bit, ha-ha. So he's got to be a bit careful because, you don't want to come on here with us Muppets and and end up damaging the work he does to further the rights of equality. He's also really busy because he's writing 3 children's books, another book.
Author.
He's all round guy.
He's been on TV lately, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Talking about the annoying
doubling of our
viewing bills.
No.
But yeah, it's just, he probably gets better viewing figures than we do. But then that's because he's on telly and we're online, man. Yeah, that's our excuse, and we're sticking to
cool cats.
So what did Gavin say? I'm always surprised that occupational therapists, nurses, doctors, social workers, rehabilitation officers, well, that's a list, occupational mobility professionals aren't asked to be involved in finding solutions. You see, I don't agree, Gavin, because I've always found that everyone you've listed know bugger all about it. I have constantly been told by all of those people that I needed things, and then they bring it and it's wrong. I could go and get a wonderful shower seat that my social worker ordered for me that took 6 months to come because of Brexit. And then it arrived and it won't fit in my bath.
I was given, I used to have a stand around the toilet to get up, but where I let go with one hand, it would go. So they put in the bars that pull down. But when they come to fit it, the minimum height of the extendable bit didn't go up enough. And I had to find the solution for the engineers. I said, turn it around the other way. And they're like, it won't work. I said, just do it.
Yeah. See, they're saying, look at MTB tech.
Mountain bike tech.
Mountain bike tech. Well, I've got a load of mountain bike suspensions that I took off an old wheelchair that had suspension, but I can't work out how to attach it. See, this is something that I think that needs to happen. It's all right talking to all those people. They're great occupational therapists, all that. But what they need to do is talk to us.
Because and stuff should be interconnected. Everything should have a standard format. So click, 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 click.
Yes.
But they won't because...
Exactly. See, there you go. 2 wheelchair users. We live miles apart. We only talk 10, 15 minutes before we come on here. And then on our WhatsApp group where we're going, oh, sugar, we haven't found a guest again. Now you've got the insight into how we work. But we both said the same thing. I always think that. Why can't you make a modular wheelchair that has sort of, you need an axle of certain length. So how does that attach? Well, it attaches the same way to every modular system so that it's not, so you can change your wheels. So say you put on a bit of weight, you don't have to get an entire new chair. You could buy a slightly wider seat and a slightly wider axle, but everything else would be the same because you don't need all the other bits. And then the price would come down because you can mass manufacture the parts and put them together in a way that works. Why isn't that a wheelchair? We don't know, because it isn't. Probably because there's not $5,000 a chair. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
We digress.
Well, no, I don't think we do. The thing is that
maybe not. No.
Because that's the thing. I mean, it's like you're saying about bathrooms. Like what we need in a bathroom is probably no different to what someone that's old needs. Yeah. Some of the things we need, so why can't it be built in? Why can't, like, my bathroom is all plasterboard because I live in one of those modern flats. There's not a brick in my house. It's all plasterboard and insulation and cladding on the outside that will burn if there's ever a fire. How nice. And there's meant to be a board all the way round in the bathroom up to kind of about sort of midway up the wall, but you can bolt things to so that if you need a handrail or something, you can put it to it, but they don't have it. And it's like that stuff should just be standard because then as you age, you go, I need a handrail, bolt, sorted. You don't have to smash the wall out, take all the plaster down, add an extra reinforcement, put the plaster back, put the plasterboard back, put the plaster back, and then it's again, it's stuff. It's stuff and things. Now, I don't think we've done too bad, Zec. We've managed to waffle about almost nothing for 22 minutes.
I'm not surprised.
So yeah, I know. And mainly it's me again. I know. I'm sorry. So what we've done is we've brought some things along to show.
No, what we did was Mick brought some bits along, and 5 minutes before we went live, said, "Look, I've got some bits to show," and I was like,
yes. So because poor old Zec's in a different room. Family stuff has mean he's thrown out of his usual studio, and he's in a smaller room that's filled with stuff. So he can't move because he can't get in and out without swearing. So you missed it, folks. When he went to get the stuff, it was comedy gold. But so do you want? Shall I start with some stuff?
Go on, then you start.
We'll swap, or would you like to start? Because I've done a lot of talking. How many bits have you got?
I gathered 3 bits. I'm lucky. I review for Disability Horizons.
Yes, exactly.
At shop.disabilityhorizons.com. And they sent through a range of products. Because I wasn't prepared, I'm afraid I don't have all the products that I'd like the Trabersac lap tray, which is brilliant, which is like a bin bag with a laptop case with a hard top that you can work on trains or whatever, and then put your laptop in. Absolutely brilliant.
I could put my brand new, really flash laptop in it.
You could.
I want to know about this. Trabersac.
I'll have a word with you after. I'm gonna start with this. This is cat tongue tape that is on the Disability Horizons shop, and it is a sticky. Don't know if I can get that. Can you see? Mm-hmm. And it is non-slip, and I've got it on various places. So there it is on the back of my phone, and it literally, I put it on things just to stop things slipping around, basically. And it really, really works a damn treat. And off the back of my mind, I can't remember where I've stuck it, but I've stuck it a lot of places. I'm still on about the cat tongue tape.
Have you stuck it on your bum so you don't slide off me?
No, that would make life harder. I did have it round the show bottle for grip, but I put it in the dishwasher, which was silly, and I need to put some more on. But if you've got a weakened grip, on cameras, on cup, anything like that, it's really good. I mean, it's not cheap, but you get quite a lot on a roll.
Yeah. So what is it? Sticky on one side, and then
it's self-adhesive, and then it's
brilliant.
If you put it on a car dashboard and you put your phone on it, it wouldn't move around as you was driving. That type of thing. Available from shop.disabilityhorizons.com.
Well, that's very good. I like that. Now, what shall I?
Are you going to raise me? It's like top trumps.
No. It's top trumps. No, these right. I've seen a lot of people online go, I need some gloves for my wheelchair. And they all get pointed to wheelchair gloves. And as we know, the wheelchair premium, the disability premium means they're all ridiculously expensive. So
Not only that, I went to shul the other week and it's raining. And when I got in and I took the glove off, I had a black thumb.
For about the first or second year where we were together with Diana and me, she bought me these really expensive gloves. They were cashmere lined. They were gorgeous. But as we know, we get wet. So I wore them out and it was raining. And the next day I went to put them on and the cashmere had shrunk. But when I took them off, my hands were both black because the dye... so I had completely black hands.
Don't say you had dye on your hands. People
all of my hands, and the dye on the hand stayed there for days. I couldn't get it off. And then, of course, I put them on the radiator, and when I took them off, the lining had shrunk. So then I had to cut the really expensive lining off, and then I had the black dye, and it meant in the end I couldn't wear them. So, and this is how old these gloves are. About 2015, I was in B&Q buying some stuff to do B&Q type DIY things, and I saw these, and I thought
DIY,
and I thought these look good because look, these. Let me see if I can get them in. There you go. There's one of them. Look,
Impact.
That's a glove, and it's basically it's Impact, and they're mechanics gloves, right? So you put them on. I've got to try and get this. So one, they look great because they kind of look like robot hands. But all this is rubber, right? So you can bang, you don't feel it, right? So earlier today, Zec wheeled into a door and got his hand stuck. So these are brilliant for that. But also,
hands between door frame.
Yeah, it's never good. Have you ever got your thumb stuck between your wheel and the wheel rim?
No, I have mine on the narrowest setting.
No, I have, and then I got it caught on the sort of attachment. This was at school when I was wheeling into a class and the teacher was coming out, and instead of stopping and letting me in, he put his hand on my chest and pushed me out the way and dislocated my thumb. So my thumb was hanging off, and I just went, thanks, sir. And then went, clicked it back in, and he went very white and had to hang on to the door frame. But yeah, so that's what school was like when I was a kid. You were lucky you weren't being thrashed within an inch of your life. But anyway, so they've got the rubber protection on the front. On the back, you've got padding. So that's padded, that's padded, that's padded, and all your fingertips are padded, right? I mean, like I said, these are 7 years old, and they've just started to sort of wear a bit. And they're brilliant. I think they're about 13 quid. And they're great. And they don't dye your hands. And if they get wet, it don't go through because there's so many layers.
And there's no wear on them.
Well, I mean, like I said, there you go. So basically all I've got is a slight bit of wear there.
Yeah.
But these are 7 years old, and I wear these everywhere. I should have actually cleaned them, possibly. But still, you know what wheelchair gloves are like. They last about a year if you're lucky.
Have you got standard push rims? Have you just got round?
Yeah, it's now standard metal push rims.
I went and got the oval ones because I've got arthritis in the hand, so I've got the Natural Fit, I think they're called.
Yeah. No, I can't be bothered to pay for all that. They always get battered up and anything, so I'm tight. I spend a fortune on my chair, but the wheelchair companies always go, do you not want like titanium? And I'm like, I can't be bothered. So that's so these, you get these online, you get them anywhere. They're not only these, but anything like this. They do colourful ones, they do like bright yellow kind of, and they're great. And I will never buy any other kind of glove because these last forever. They're comfortable and they're great. I mean, and also when they get wet, you put them on the radiator. Normally gloves kind of shrivel up and go apart. These haven't changed. They're great. Get them. They're wonderful. So that's my tip for anyone.
Sophia says she got her finger caught between brake and wheel. I must admit, the only time I've done that is the brakes come across and I've smacked my thumbs as I've pushed forwards.
That's the old scissor brake. The scissor brakes, because I now have got the really cool sort of pedingy ones that kind of you go ping and they undo. But the scissor brakes, oh god, the number of times I've got my finger.
I never use my brakes.
Wow, scary. No, I always use them for transferring. Although people think you use them to slow down. And you're like, no, I really don't use them for slowing down. So that's gloves. I'm going to show you something for the other part of your body, the other extremity, your feet.
Oh, your feet.
Right.
Go on.
Right now, look at that for a shoe. It's a bright red trainer. I've got
That
a
looks
pair
like
in
Back
grey.
to the Future, doesn't it?
They are very Back to the Future, but the reason why I got them is not the front, it's not the side, it's not the side here. No, it's this bit. You
Look
put
at
your
that.
foot in the back. You don't. The laces are just for looks. They don't matter. You don't need them. So you just slip your foot in, right, and then you reach down and you go. No more mucking about, bending
They're very
over.
mixed scarlet, though. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I mean,
no, they do. They do them in dark grey, black,
oh right, okay.
blue. It's just because I was going to get them in yellow, but then I remembered the song "Skinny Belinky Long Legs, Big Banana Feet" and thought, well, I don't want to do that because my mum was still alive at that point, and I had the feeling that that's because she used to sing that to me all the while anyway.
Katie's asking about your gloves. Are they grippy on the wheels of your chair, basically?
Yeah, they're brilliant because they're so padded. They're great for gripping and everything. I wheel very strangely in that I don't really use my hand rims. I tend to put my thumb on the wheel and push using the
My
wheel.
thumb is on the wheels. My thumb is on the. My thumb and my here is on the tire itself.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
if you haven't got gloves and it rains and you start picking up all the grit on the, that's nasty, isn't it?
I also use anti-puncture tires that are lined with Kevlar, right? And they are brilliant. I used to get punctures all the while. I haven't had a puncture in years, touch wood. But it does mean if you run over glass, which I do a lot in Camden, it sticks out of your tire. And the only time you know about it is when it sticks in your hand. So
I've got solids. I went solids years ago because I got fed up with.
I bought when they first came out. Do you get them from Green Tires? Is it that do?
No,
solids?
I said to wheelchair service, I want solids.
Yeah. No, I use. I had a pair of Green Tire solids, and they were great, but getting them on.
Oh yeah, there was the guy from the wheelchair service when he brought them round. There was me, and there was my daughter's boyfriend.
Well, apparently, what you're meant to do is put them in boiling hot water in the bath so they stretch, and then you crowbar the things on, and you really do have to crowbar them on.
Yeah,
and then they stretch and they go back. But if you get them wrong, as I did on one wheel, you're screwed because you can't get them off. So basically, I had this chair with them on, and it went so. So that set of wheels I gave to my next door neighbour when I lived in Shepherd's Bush. But there you go. So there's two of mine. So I'm going to go back to Zec now for something because he's got 3 and I've got tons of the stuff.
I'm really upset that I don't have the. It's there. I can't get there. This is the frustration of this room. I can't get there. It's probably about another arm's length. But it might as well be at the end of South End.
This is where you need this, right?
No, I don't want to shave it. I just want to grab it. It's the hydrant bottle. I've got this. I've grabbed a few kitcheny bits.
That's cool.
This, and I didn't bring a plate in with me. It's the hot plate. Basically, out the microwave or whatever, and it will hold a plate, and it's kind of tactile with a thumb thing. You've obviously got to have very good dexterity. But you can literally pick up a hot plate with it, one-handed.
See, that's cool. And again, that's good for us, but it's good for everybody.
Disabilityhorizons.com.
I will admit that I don't need that because being in a wheelchair for 41 years this April, right? My
Teflon.
hands, I can genuinely almost take the grill out without feeling it. But
I did a little while ago, last year. I didn't even think. I'm in shorts and I get the oven gloves and I take a tray out of the oven and I put it on my lap and I go to Will on the other side of the room. I'm not going to say what I said, but yeah, and I won't say what my daughter called me, but yeah.
Yes. It's funny that you sometimes do that thing where you kind of go, oh, hang on a minute, I can't feel that, or I can feel that, or I should.
It took a while to register.
Yeah, I have a weird thing. My nerves are like that kind of slow, so I can have something where I'm like, oh bugger, I've done something, and by which time it's too late.
Always remember a mate of mine. He'd come in from work and he'd converted a motorbike to a trike, and he didn't realise that because I think he's T5, that he had actually burnt himself on the exhaust pipe and he had this big old burn on his leg. Just did not know at all. Quite dangerous.
Unfortunately, I didn't get
my
any
jar
of that
key
because my internet is mucking about, I think. So that went quite dangerous. So, but there we go. I'm sure it was very dangerous.
It was.
Right. So, yes. So this is another one of my things. This, as I said, silverback. I'm now at an age where I have decided that I need to start shaving my back. And so what you do is you put your razor here, put the Velcro strap around it, folks. Let me see if I can get that to you.
Oh, I see. It holds a razor. You don't put a razor on it.
Okay. No. It holds the razor. So it puts your razor blade or electric trimmer thing or anything into it.
Right.
And then you just do that. And you do that. Now, that just might sound like something for vanity, but it's also got another use in that you can shave your legs with it if you need.
Which isn't for vanity.
No, it's sometimes it is, but sometimes it looks a bit rubbish if you're wearing nylons and your hair's coming through. But it also struck me that it'd be quite good for painting. And like, say you had weak arms or short arms, it kind of gives you that ability to paint and stuff. There we go. And it's kind of, I've got a grabbing hand, which when I was young, I wouldn't use because it was like, oh my God, that's an admission that I'm disabled. But now my grabbing hand goes everywhere with me. And I wish they made one of this size because that would be perfect because that's exactly how far away the floor is without me having to bend too much. Another shoe thing, I've been bought these for Christmas. And I'm at that age where when my wife buys me slippers, I'm overwhelmed. But one, they're moccasins, which as any goth knows is what most young cool people wore in about 1982 to 1984. But so they've got rubber soles, so when I get out of my chair I don't slip because we've got tiled floors and I keep going to get out of my chair, jumping on the sofa, and my feet just shoot from under me, so that's great. But the main reason why I love them, and this is very handy, is they've got laces so you can do them up, because I've got one foot that's size 10 and another one that's a size 6, so I either go.
Oh, when you said your feet are different sizes, I thought we were talking like half a size or a size.
No, I have a baby foot and a giant foot because one leg never grew because one leg never worked and the other leg grew until 15.
A bit like Deadpool with his little baby legs.
It's very much like Deadpool. I do have a Deadpool leg, yes. I'm going to call it my Deadpool leg from now on. So
I don't wear slippers. I've got these on. I got these. You can no longer get them in the UK, but luckily my cousin's in New Zealand. You'll excuse them. They are very warm. These are from the New Zealand Sock Company, and they're compression socks made from merino wool. Now my foot's cold. And they are right and left-footed, and it cuts down the pain in my feet and keeps them warm.
Oh, cool. It keeps blood circulation as well because compression will keep it going. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. They're well, exactly. I mean, I like them because it reminds me of being jealous of all of my cool goth mates when I was about sort of 17 and thinking I can't wear them, and now I can, even though no one knows that I'm cool because the entire fashion has completely gone, and now I just look like an old man in funny slippers. I was watching that advert about there was some thing on about caring for old people in care homes, and they cut to this old lady. You know how they always shoot things for news, and it's like, let's talk about disability, and they show lots of wheelchairs and hands on equipment and stuff like that, and they were doing the same for old people. So it's a hand on a walker, an old lady being given a cup of tea, and then a shot of a lady using a walking frame with basically my slippers on. And I was like, oh great, so now I'm officially old. Boo.
Katie said I adore my jar key, and I don't think it's called a jar key. I think it's called a progressive 6-in-1 jar opener. But I think this is what Katie's talking about. So it does like that bit. Can you get that in? No, we can't. There's like a lip where
I can see it.
You know those tins of beans that will take the tip of your finger off, and it does then bottle tops and jars and bottle tops. Disability Horizons. Shop.disabilityhorizons.
I hope you're watching this.
No,
Martin.
I'm not.
You really Martin, you're getting your money's worth. We're not getting paid, but you're getting your money's worth anyway. This is a hint. Yeah. Now, right. I'm trying to think. I've got a couple of support things here. This is for my back. It's basically a corset that you can wear and call it medical, but it's very much like a corset, and it's got straps at the back, and that's quite handy for me when my back hurts at the minute.
C-cup bras, and
that's it. That's a whole other thing. Yeah, that's for the night when I do the Rocky Horror Show. And I've got this thing that's going to take me a little bit of time to work out how to open. But basically, it's for stopping your feet from dropping. All of it's black, so it's quite hard to show on camera. But basically,
it's a foot drop.
Yeah, you strap your foot. Your ankle goes here. Your foot goes in this bit, sort of through here, and then you strap it up. And it's something that I didn't really think about when I was first in the chair. Is that over time your foot kind of would drop, and that's really handy. I mean, I do yoga now and pull it up, and it's really softened it up. But that was great. It comes with a metal thing in it. Take that out, because otherwise you stab yourself in the leg, and because you can't feel it, it's only the next day that you find that you've impaled yourself with a lump of metal. But something I do like is my bike light. Why is this anything to do with disability, you ask? Well, because when we stop flashing, I strap it on my chair, and it means I can see where I'm going at night. It's great. So you just show.
I have a torch. I also have a torch that is velcroed, hanging from my seat. I always have a torch.
This has got a little like strappy thing, and it just clips around and it clips in.
Watch this.
Yeah, but I can do that.
It shuts me up as well. Well, there you go. I mean, Diana love it. Diana love it.
For the rest of the show, I'm gonna do.
But that's me going down the road with the torch in the car.
Yeah. Oh, right. I tell you what, because we're nearly coming to the end. So this is going to be like I've got. Yeah, this is kind of really cool. Look, what is it, Mick? Is it a load of bubble wrap? No, it's a pressure relieving mat that you can lay on anything, and each one of these is filled with gel. So it's a bit like, you get those pressure relieving cushions, and there's a bit in the middle that's got this stuff on it. This is just, you buy it from, I can't remember where because I got it at Nadex, but it's online, and it's just a big square of it, and it means you can take it with you because it folds up. It's quite heavy, but it folds up. Look, put it in your bag, put it in your hand luggage. And when you get on a plane, say, we all know, sit on a plane for too long, bum goes to sleep. Put this down first. Lovely. I mean, admittedly, probably everybody else like me takes your cushion off your chair and sits on that. But this is another handy solution. Say you haven't got that, or your cushion's fixed to your chair. This stuff's great. But it also means you can put it on your chair. Because I'd never had a pressure sore until about 10 years ago. I got quite a bad one. And then I got this, and it means you have to watch yourself once you've had one. And if I ever get a little sign, I just whack that on my cushion, sorted, goes away. So that's another handy bit of kit.
For me, I tell you what, supportive tech, but people are saying about tech that's not designed specifically for us but works, is the old Alexa, and I got to review some lights, some smart plugs. Things like that. A few years ago, I was laid in bed. Donna had gone out, and it had got dark, and she'd left the bedroom window open. We were in a bungalow, and I could hear somebody creeping around the outside on the drive because we got stones, and I'm in bed. So I just said, Alexa, lights on, and all the lights come on, and I heard them clear off very quick.
See, that'd be even better. Now that's something else. I've got a robot vacuum cleaner. Right?
You have.
They are but they're brilliant, right? You get up in the morning, a cup of coffee, turn it on, sit down, it does it all for you. Always remember, however, to empty it. And if you live with someone who's his hair is quite as destructively strong as my wife's is, make sure you clean the bristle thing regularly, because every now and again it went.
Sophia says Ring doorbells, absolutely brilliant. Just gives you a sense of security as well. I'm
quite lucky. I live in a block of flats, so I don't have to worry about that kind of thing, because you've got to get through 2 sets of security doors to get into my flat.
Another thing for the Alexa, I'm off to the bathroom. Always take my phone if Donna's not here, in case I end up spilling on the floor. But now the Alexa, I can ask her to call Donna, and then talk through Alexa to Donna, which again is another layer of security. Hopefully, never need it. You know.
Yeah, because Kate is saying about the thing that goes under your kettle, so you can pour your kettle if you can't lift it. That's another great thing. There are loads of stuff like this. So this, because we're coming to the end, folks, and I think there's I think that's pretty much everything I've got. No, that's it. We've done it. Yes, hooray! I've even shown you my back shaver. I can't believe it. But I think we'll make this sort of a regular thing. And so if you know of anything that you like, that you think, oh, this would be something to mention, send us a link, and we'll include it. Also, don't forget, we are still looking for presenters. We've got a few that want to join our joyous gang, but we'd like more. We're also looking for guests. So if you've got a story that you want to tell or a subject you want to talk about, get in touch, right? Guests, great. You don't really have to do anything. Come along, tell us your story. We'll waffle at you as we have done tonight. But if you want to be a presenter, don't forget you do have to do a bit. We joke about it, but we actually put quite a lot of work into this. It doesn't look like it.
That's the skill. We make it look very amateur, but
that's it. You see, it takes years to be this crap. So, you got. For one, we need someone else to know how to do the technology, so that Zec isn't always having to do it, because I'm sure that occasionally he'd like to not have to work. But that's it. We want you to come on. So join, send us your stories, all that kind of stuff, and we will get you on, and then you can join our stable. And we've got Lucy and Alice from the Labelled podcast coming on soon. Obviously, we've got wonderful Katie coming on soon. We've got Mr. Cookfulness has said he'd like to come on soon.
Andrew's coming back.
Yeah, Andrew wants to come back. In fact, Andrew wants to, come. Now, just before I go on to Andrew Miller's Facebook page, if you can find him. He's a generally all-round hero of a guy. And watch the documentary he made about Billy McKenzie from The Associates, right? I didn't know he was, I knew he was a presenter, but his production and directing work is superb. And if the industry dare say that they don't have enough disabled talent, how dare they? Because he should be producing lots, because he's brilliant. And of course, it was about Billy McKenzie, who party fears too. It was just, classic genius of the 80s. So,
have you been watching Screw about the prison guards?
No, I haven't.
There's been a guy in there, and again, apologies, I forget his name. He plays Tommy someone, and he is a disabled actor.
Yeah, no, I've seen that.
He's brilliant. His character, his admin fits, is just so loud and just like annoying to the governor. Brilliant.
Because I'm always jealous, because that should have been me. Oh dear. That's the truth of what it's like to be an actor, darling. Every time you see someone else doing it, you go, they're very good, but should have been me. But it's not, so I don't mind. I'm here on Disability Horizons TV next time, in 2 weeks' time, on the 6th of February, which is going to be fun as well, because I know what we're going to talk about, I hope. It's quite a deep subject, but it'll be quite good, and I think it's going to be Lucy and Alice on that one. But we'll tell you more about that when we post it, because we can't guarantee it until we've affirmed it and confirmed it with our wonderful guests. I think at 3 minutes over time, I think we did very well there, Zec. There's only two of us, and we weren't really organised. So
I knew we could fill it if I just stopped talking.
Do you know, I'm about to start doing a kind of weird podcast thing, which is just me and my thoughts, and it's called Mik Speaks. And yeah, it's great. I've only got 10 recorded, and it's basically just waffle. So that'll be good. Anyway, I'll tell you more about that when I finally get bothered to put it online. I'm trying to work out how to do it. But for that, and for now, I think we can say that's it. I'm off. Of course, my wonderful wheelchair Ken is also off. You can't see that because of the light. That's typical. Wheelchair Ken is also off. And I expect that Zec is off too.
When I get out the room. I've got my phone. I need to call for help.
That's it. Can't you just go Alexa? Can I say Alexa? If I say Alexa, will it do something?
Well, one, I've got earphones in, and two, there's not an Alexa in here.
Okay, I don't know.
My wife's watching Sex in the City stuff in the lounge.
Oh, that's weird. That. Anyway, I won't go into that. That's another whole show where we could do. That's a good one. Let's do a show about reviewing shows that are about disabled people. Now you said about Screw. Let's do that. That's a great one. Who'd like to come on that as a guest? There we go. That's it. That's an idea for a future show. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye, good night. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful fortnight until we see you again. And with that, I've got to go and put an awful lot of stuff away. So goodbye.
Oh, I've got assistive tech. It's called Adonna. See you later, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you, folks.